She's an animal. Hey. A freaking party animal. Wacha tuachie hapo basi.
This is your song?
Yeah, that's the song.
What's the name of your song?
It's called Partly Animal. I wrote it. Mulitoa wapi mse? Okay. I don't know. I just enjoyed this a bit.
For a country that has so many tech brains, they're not doing well.
I mean,
Hi guys, welcome back to More to Follow. It's been quite an interesting episode. This is going to be an interesting episode, and we'll tell you why in a few minutes. But let me start by asking my guests on my left to introduce themselves.
which one is the left?
It is your left.
Oh.
No, but not you. That far left.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Fairs. Hi, guys. So, my moniker for today is. How do you say this? Okay. Mukite wana meme. Yeah, Mukite wana meme. I think, yeah. He was a drumming warrior from the Bukusu tribe.
A drumming what?
Warrior.
Oh, I've heard warrior.
Yeah. Among the Bukusu are stories told of an orphan boy. He was born in the 1790s to rise against all odds, to beat war drums, and consequently united the people of Bukusu land. Yeah. His parents had been killed by the Teso, and then they ended up killing some of the Teso people. Quite a dramatic guy.
Hi, and I'm Judy for this episode. We have a special guest. I will allow him to introduce himself.
Welcome everybody. My name is Mugambi Ikiara, the Baldest MC in the EAC. Come on now. Patent pending. Okay, yeah, Mugambi Ikiara, actor, singer-songwriter, voice artist, commercial model, host, moderator. Yeah, pretty much. That's what I do for a living, through and through.
Did you say the baldest MC or the baddest?
Baldest.
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 Under this sizing in my invisible hair itulie kidogo.
Nice,
scalp
nice.
needs to, yeah.
For our viewers, can they see why
I'm bald.
you're the baldest? Yes.
Oh yes, because I'm bald. I'm actually bald.
There we go. Anaitwa Ikiara Tsikihara.
What's wrong with
That's so funny. That's actually funny.
Actually, in Kikuyu it would make sense,
Yeah,
but
it would.
in Meru, in Kimeru, it does not. It's actually a person who's it's a name for someone who has wealth. So in our space, guys who have a threshing field because we have a lot of wheat in Meru, and places where now once the stalks have been cut, you've harvested all your wheat and whatever stocks zimebaki, you come and put them together in bundles of like hay and place them in a kasailo. So hizo vitu ndio mwenye kona hizo vitu mob inaitwa kiara. So that becomes a thing. That's where, because my grandfather was Gitonga to Ikiara, so that became a name that passed on to all of us.
Okay,
Wow.
interesting.
Yeah.
That's pretty
And
interesting.
Gitonga is still rich man, so
Gitonga is also Meru.
yeah, Gitonga is Kimeru as well.
And Kikuyu?
It's also the same,
Gitonga.
and it still means the same thing.
It just depends on where you put the stress on the name.
Oh,
Because ours is Getonga.
Mm.
Getoga or something.
It's and then
Even Mugambi, it's Mugambi. Yes, it's Mugabi, I think. Yeah, so.
Okay, didn't know that.
we
I just-
stretch the
I was
last
like,
vowel, the last phonetic sound.
All right.
I've always been curious. Do bald people apply oil on their hair, on their head?
Not hair. Head. Yes. Hey! Super moisturize, man. Unaanzianga tu huku though. Unaendanga hivi. Una work your way into
To
the
your
face. You don't go like this. 'cause
From
now
your
that-
face to your head, it's from the head to the face.
Let me fanya hivi. Unafanya hivi. And then it just feels nice, man. Imagine ukioga tu maji inaingia tu.
Na ukinyeshewa pia.
Man,
There's no like, wow,
it's beautiful, man.
Nice. Hatuwezi kushow.
Now that we're actually on that topic, we'd want
Sorry,
to know.
Judy. We have to shout out
I'm sorry.
our location sponsors.
Sherry Homes, thank you so much for this space. Again, we feel very at home, clearly, and we're glad to have you in our space. What do we want to say about Sherry Homes today?
They're not just located where it is that we are. Should we reveal our location?
No,
Okay.
not yet. Yeah.
Watakuja wengi.
If you want to know which one, talk to Sherry Homes. But until then,
Yeah.
Tulie.
Yeah. That's pretty much it.
oh yeah. So if you'd want to see the beautiful space we're in, again, go back to Sherry Homes. And well, yeah, we have Mugambi.
Mugambi. You
Mugambi.
just speak like a
Mugambi.
Nairobi person.
Mugambi. We
Yeah,
have
thank
Mugambi in the house, guys.
Say it like a chicken that's about to. Mugambi.
Well, Mugambi.
Oh,
We have Mugambi in our space, and I'd like to know from when did you become Mugambi? Not ideally not from birth, but I'm looking for a story of the person we know now, the Baldest MC.
the Baldest MC in the EAC. So
And feel free to go back all the way to primary school if that's where your story begins.
oh yeah, wow, history inakwanga weird. I never thought I'd be a creative person ever. I used to think I'm going to do sciences because that's how I was socialized. That's like I had the aptitude for all that stuff. When I enjoy math, science, whatever. I can't quite tell you. There was a point in my life where I studied seriously for math or whatever. Because I used to pass. Me, it was never thought of. In high school, I'm coming in, people are telling me, hey, utapata 52 math. I'm like, you guys are just dumb. Because we used to get 90s.
In high school.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Because sijai soma math. And I used to do, it sounds like bragging now, but
It's a bona fide genius.
guys, I used to literally enjoy that. Computers, physics. I mean, the things that people don't like, I'm there like, hey, rahisi. Chemistry, naambia na mtu, hey, moles itakuwa ngumu. I'm like, kwa nini? So yeah, I never really knew I'd do this. But in as much as I was smart, because I didn't like studying per se, and I knew, oh, it's fine. I used to make bad jokes. I'm constantly naughty. I still do make bad jokes.
Yeah.
I mean, now I just get paid for them. Anyway, nilikuwa na imitate kila mtu from my younger brother. I used to imitate teachers. Hey, there's a teacher, Mr. Kengori. You think you can imitate me just because you are passing in class? No. Huh? You think? And it didn't help. And now we lived in Nyeri at some point. So as I came from, because we were living initially in Athi River, and then moved to Nyeri. So for the first time in my life, I'm hearing people having like thick Kikuyu accents. I'm like, so there's a teacher. Hey, now she's now passed. She passed on a while ago. I think it was 2018. But she used to teach CRE, and that's the first time I had why, what, when. And you know the girls in the class. I'm like, girls? What are girls? Like shields? No, girls. Because mi nilikuwa nafikiria ni ngao. Nilikuwa it was bad. So I think by virtue of just being mischievous,
Njae and Jambi.
Njambi, Njae. Like,
Njae and Jambi.
Wani mjinga. But by virtue of just being constantly in class, making fun of people, making fun of teachers, making voices, running around in class. To me sisomi, mi go like, wacha ni have fun. So mi na have a lot of fun. Niko unanipata kwa noise makers list zote. Mi hata walimu walikuwa wanaingia class wakijua tu watatandika Mugambi. Whether or not, Dari ilikuwa na kelele. Nani atachaguliwa? Mugambi kuja. Ian kuja. Sijui nani kuja, but Mugambi atachapwa. Upendo hata nikiwa nimenyamaza. Mugambi. So but at that time sikuwa naitwa Mugambi, but yeah. Story for another day. Hiyo taaribu.
Ni jina ya Kizungu.
Ni mbaya. Yeah. Actually, no. Theophilus inimpenda Mungu. No, it's not Theophilus.
It's Onesimus.
Onesimus.
Hi, my name is...
No,
my name is Onas. Yeah. Once. Yeah, but then once.
YG.
Yeah, so came to hata in high school still same viewpoint ya nataka kufanya sciences and whatever. However, I always felt like I didn't want to do conventional careers. Every time people are talking about, I want to be a doctor, I want to be an engineer, I'm just start thinking, I don't want to be any of that.
What would you answer when they ask?
Mi nilikuwa tu nachagua anything. There was a time I said paleontologist. There's a time I said archaeologist. There's a time I said I want to be a psychologist. There's a time I said I want to be a teacher, a pilot. I said so many things growing up. Lawyer, a civil engineer, an actuary at some point. Nilikuwa nataka kufanya actuarial science. So there's so many things. Computer science eventually came in by virtue of some guys coming to a high school, and then talking about how the life is on more or less easier mode, quote unquote, because hakuna more convention. You can literally work from home. And me hearing about coding while you're at home, yani naamka nashika laptop na nafanyia kazi home. Nataka kufanya hii kitu.
Nafinya dola.
Unafinya unatoa dola.
unatoa
Hiyo
dola.
kitu, I really wanted to do
Wait,
that.
so can we ask which school you were in?
Oh yeah, Starry Boy Sentence School. Yeah.
Hey.
So did that, wanted to do tech for a while, and then can realize, hey, guys, I don't really like tech evil. I mean, I'll pass. It's not hard, but for me,
Favor,
Sorry.
but
Ngoja, ukiwa starehe ndio umezoea kuvaa
cover shorts,
Fairs.
like
Andy. My guys.
first of all, yuck. Lakini Jumi ni mrefu bro, utanita shorty. Okay, sawa.
1-1.
1-1.
The ref will play on.
Who go like that? Wacha endelee. Yeah, so finished school there, nikachagua some course campo, just tech, because it was more or less embedded systems.
And this is UON?
UON, yeah, UON. So nikakaka huko. But even in high school, I had gone to debate club just to figure out what people are doing. I was in drama. Ile time yenye watu wanafaa kuwa na settle down into school, ndio mi naanza kufanya vitu extra. Mugambi ni form 3 anaenda nini bado music fest na drama fest. Si unafaa kuwa umetulia. I'm like, sinapita though. So I didn't really think of it evil, but also I wasn't fully engaged because there was still this half-mindedness of, do I really want to do this, or am I just having it as a hobby or as a way to just go and talk to girls? Because that's your goal in high school that was my goal in high school as a guy going
No,
for
just it's fine. You can drop me in.
hata wewe ulikuwa hapo sindo? Tulikuwa tunafikiria funky madem. Hadi unakuwa Catholic bana, unaenda kwa YCS. Unaenda dia SDA. Emily aenda event ya SDA. What do you mean, man?
Si mnakunywa tu Fanta orange.
Bazijua madem. Uko high school kun. Mazee unachafua hapo. Chafulie na Novida. Alafu unakunywa, unaanza kujifanya umeelewa na Novida. Okay. And then
Unajua hizo matches of Pathfinder. Takufunza.
nilikuwa SDA nikiwa mtoi bana, acha hiyo story.
Wallahi.
Genuinely. That's it. Basic Pathfinder. I go, okay. Yeah, so anyway, away from that.
When yes da.
Mini Methodist. Well, I was raised Methodist-ish. Now I'm not like that. So maybe.
There's a method to the madness.
Sawa. So nikaendelea. Acha na upse. Found
It's
theater in
true.
school.
He says it does a lot of method acting.
Please no.
Hey!
Hiyo kitu iko na connotations zake and iko na bad definitions throughout Kenya. Siwezi sema method acting. Wewe unasema tu good acting is just acting. Na tutakuja huko baadaye. But found theater in campus. And then
How? Like,
literally because shule yetu ilikuwa Chiromo. People who are doing main campus things ndio wanafanya the arts. I didn't know that then. Someone asked for, I think Carol Kuyo. She asked in our group, a fellowship of church I still go to. Wako like, we need volunteers. So me and another dude volunteered. Hatukuwa tunajua ni nini.
As typical as it is for Mugambi to the extra is extra in this one.
Yeah, so volunteered. I find out it's a UNEP. Was it a UNEP or my UNEP PA project? Because then there was a whole issue for sex for grades. And they wanted to have a presentation by University of Nairobi Traveling Theatre, together with some other guys kutoka nje to go within the school wa kuongelea situation. We had a whole thing going on. We made a skit and then it worked. So when we went over, the first time I realized people actually study performing arts. Like, I am nasomanga kitu for real. Me, I thought it was a hobby. So that's when I decided to lock in. First role I ever had professionally, quote unquote, well, that was actually paid for, was as a news reporter in that cafe, in that skit. And then the next one kakua an ugly woman. I know, yeah, you can't tell.
Ulikuwa.
I was made in another play. The next play I was in, I was an ugly woman. Then the next one I was still same play. Within the same play I was an ugly woman and a musician who used to prey on little girls, giving them HIV. And then ilikuwa mbaya. Like ilikuwa mbaya, man. And then I think that's when I was asked about film by a friend of mine, the late Sheldon Owinya. I was like, bro, ushafanya film? Unafaa kutry. Niko na film fulani naandika nitakutafuta. So that's how I got into the whole space of film eventually. And then audition. Kujaribu hapa na pale, doing music as well, doing whatever. Yes, it was just from that, everything else happened. To the point where I decided to eventually go bald and became the baldest MC in the EAC. Come on now, come on. Yeah. Yeah, cannot relate? Okay, sorry. Nimbaya.
No, it is I think you threw me off kidogo.
Okay.
So that's been your story up until today.
Yeah.
How did you, I think from that is how you discovered everything else you're doing saizi, because it's a lot, let's be honest, it's genuinely a lot, from emceeing, voiceover, modeling,
Music, whatever. Yeah.
Music. By music, do you mean
I sing? Yeah.
Any songs you heard?
I've not put them out there. Vizuri, I only have 2 on Spotify now.
Can we hear something?
Kindly
grace our mics can support you.
That I've actually put out. Mnataka ni kitu nimesha put out ama
si lazima hata kwanza tupe kitu snippet ya kitu tujisikie bado.
Okay. So there's a just song.
Na DJV ndo wako hapa. Tuambie tu. Just tell us.
Mtaweza bana. Okay, sawa. Fanya hivi basi.
You know what? It makes sense. What was happening on Thursday?
What?
I was singing on key, and I was like,
"Oh, you didn't know."
I didn't know you're a musician. Now speaking.
My baby's got tattoos, short skirts and high heel shoes, and you know she's got the room. When you see all she's made to swoon, I must be lucky to have it all. With a baby they want to own. But see, I'm dreading all day long about that major character flaw. She's an animal, hey, a freaking party animal. What's that hapo basi?
This is your song?
Yeah, that's my song.
What's the name of your song?
It's called Partly Animal. I wrote it. Umlitoa wapi mzee?
Alikuwa downstairs na alikuwa na equipment. Ebuka
mkiasi ni kushow vile unaweza tumia equipment. Nilikuwa naandika hii song nilikuwa natoka KNT. I was walking to I was doing a student project at ADMI at some point. And then walking from KNT to there was an EDM song I was listening to. So I'm like, okay, what if I make a song that's jazzy and nini. So words started just coming out. Because the song was called Party Animal or some animal, something. Just it had the word Party Animal within the EDM song. I'm like, what if I make this jazz? And I'm just thinking, notes up. Verse 1, verse 2, and then verse 1, chorus. And then I was like, what's next? Verse 2. Then I know I'll have a chorus and like a bridge up. So I just have the whole story. By the time I'm getting to huko, niko na song. Nishaandika. Nikitembea kwa barabara.
Wait, you're writing as you're walking?
Yeah, see, on the notes app. I was doing notes and then recording something. Don't nikumbuke the actual melody and whatever. So from there, that's when I realized, I actually like this a bit too much as well. So I'm like, okay, I like it, not like that, but enough to write some songs, because now that's a jazzy one. I've written a reggae ones. I've written I just mix genres for myself because I write how I feel. It's not, I'm an artist who only does indie because indie is so instrumental to my life.
It
No
speaks to
shade to
you.
anybody. It just speaks to me.
Oh, okay.
I'm not one of those artists. This is how I feel right now, and this is what makes me happy. And will make if it can make you laugh, all this amazing. If it cannot, because whatever I have out, an EDM, there's an EDM song we did with Jambia, and then there's another rumba song that we did with Seds.
You've done rumba as well.
Ni mbaya, okay, ni funny. Ukiona video utacheka because we did a whole video. It was beautifully done. Worked with akina Akusha, whatever. It was a very beautifully done video. Hadi tukaitwa na Berlin Music Videos Awards. They're like, have you? I'm looking at my emails. I'm like, okay. We just saw Sarah the music video. It was beautiful. I'm like, okay, thank.
One, just one.
Thank. Because it was just that one. They're like, thank.
One thank.
Come on, to thank Junko. Yani went to Germany are watching this. What do you mean? And yeah, just gave me some sort of validation. So like how I do all this, my things. See, kukua tu kichwa ngumu na experiment. Na grace ya God, definitely grace ya God, because anyone who would have asked me in 2020 what I'd be doing with my life, I would never tell them this
is what you ended up doing.
I'd have been a tech bro somewhere talking about crypto or Web3
AI
and other
now.
spaces and AI, because that's a whole space, and how AI and coding in a how people are programmers wanakasirika juu AI inakuja kuchukua kazi yao, so you don't really have to be an amazing coder per se anymore. Ni mbaya, but like it's a whole thing. Those are the conversations we're talking about, how the space for tech in East Africa is different from the Nigerian tech space and the West African tech space. Those would have been my conversations. But sasa, I don't know. I just enjoyed this a bit too much.
For a country that has so many tech brains, they're not doing well.
I mean,
like generally, like if you think about the number of tech startups on that side.
Oh yeah, they have a lot of them.
Yeah.
Like tech space. Yeah, I know some of them just are like some people who are career startup people. Like they create a startup, get funding, round 1 you're funding, round 2 you're funding, and then they're like, okay, let me do another one. Because now they're gonna survive on that thing for a while. Because nilirealize nika kitu imekufa, okay, tuanze ingine. How do you keep getting these grants? How do you keep doing this? Yeah, it's a sad space to be in.
You find their personal bank accounts, they look like the funding as well.
Okay, like, more. Ni mtu mzima atakuwa na bibi na watoto.
When I was telling you guys his biggest problem is supports Man U. You guys thought it was a joke. You can see it now.
Starting to see it. We're starting to see
his fellow people, Eric Omondi. Unaona?
Ni mbaya.
Msikubali hiyo Andy sikubali.
Kwani una hasira? Okay, sawa.
Ni sawa. Mimi najua Sifuna na kuanga mse wa Chelsea.
Achana na Sifuna.
So what I've heard is you've been doing this since 2020.
No, 2018 I think was.
That would be what, like the last 8, this being your 8th year?
Yeah, I think this is my 8th year now, because 2018 then first actual gig in the industry I think was in 2021 2020 2021 thereabout.
For
it was an advert or something.
Truth be told, I think there are people who've done it.
Nilikuwa down hata amgejua ni mimi. Hata I was not even seen on the ad.
Mlifanya na nani? Ni ile ilikuwa na Sara nini? Si Sara.
Not that one. There's another one we had done. Some downy concentrate plus that plus ilikuwa ya papo, sijui ilikuwa lini, ilikuwa kitambo. That was my first ad. Ndio nililipwa pesa kidogo nikanunua my first phone. Ya Mugambi imejinunulia.
Ngoja usome number. How much it was?
Sawa.
Kidogo labda ni 80k.
80k ilikuwa Leeds ndio wanalipa. So mimi nimejua tu
8.
ilikuwa nene. Ilikuwa less. Haikuwa 8k though.
Haikufika 10.
Haikufika 8k though.
Nini, I don't think everyone else who's trying to get into the industry has had the
Ngoja.
same grace you've
Unakataa
had.
kuchukua simu ya Oscar Sudi?
Acha bana.
Relax.
Acha bana.
Relax.
Usiongelee watu wanaweza niumiza bro. Acha.
Tunamwambia can I call you later?
Siwezi ongelesha Oscar Sudi bana. Hatutaelewana. Atadhani namringia na English.
How have you managed to do all the things
Baldest.
you've done so far?
Other than the grace of God, because hiyo ndio inakuwa number one and people
Like, what's step
downplay it.
one? Yeah, step
Yeah.
one for someone trying to do almost the same things you're doing.
If you want to do any same things I'm doing, don't. Because please
that's
don't.
true.
Just don't. Because we're not the same kind of person, and not in an egotistical and better than you kind of way. It's in a I think I have delusional love for this stuff that not everyone might possess. And by virtue of being so delusional in the love, I enjoy it to the point where I'm like, let me try this and that and that and that. Oh, that looks nice. I want to know how people do this. And that's how I ended up knowing about voiceover work. That's how I ended up knowing about some modeling things here and there. That's how I ended up knowing about emceeing and acting for film, TV, theater, singing, musicals, recording, going for competitions, all these things were, and also networking within the industry to the point where I realized, I don't need to know to start networking up because it doesn't work in our space. Evo, don't network up, network horizontally. Because sasa even though watu wenye mmezoeana nao, once they get capital to work on things that actually matter to the world in that scale, it will be easier for them to work with people who they feel are their peers as opposed to kakijana kako huko down. Because right now there's nothing I'm going to tell Nick Mutuma, if I've never worked with him, or like from a zero starter. Nenda kuongelesha Nick has done stuff over the years to the point where now he's a producer, director. He's done stuff for himself. Nina make sense. There's no I'm networking up there because Nick is talking to his peers. They're creating with his peers now. All the shows that I'm making, peers wake. However, it doesn't mean that kama uko na skills that you can offer, how do I work na yeye? No, your time will come. It will take your time. It will take you some time, but inaweza hata kosa take time. But it's easier for me to work with people who are doing their own stuff and they're also on the up and up because it will make sense. Kuna time tutakuwa nakaa chini go like, yeah, nilikuwa najua kina Judy. Oh, nilikuwa najua kina Brahim, Raf, nilikuwa najua kina Sam Algo, nilikuwa najua kina nani, Brian Fura, because these are people I have up at reach. These are my friends. Those are people I've worked with. Akina Chadota because they're doing things in theater. Oh, akina Zaitun in music. Oh, akina nani, you can say hao ni watu naweza ongelesha and we can work with because them they're here now. Sisi enda kusema naongea na nameless. Nameless hata anijui. Mimi sasa ndio niko nameless. To him mimi ndio niko nameless. Naona. Cause it's just something that you realize over time.
I don't know if it's just me, but there's something you've said that to date still very much scares me. I'm sure I'll let you ask your question, kidogo Raf, but the idea of hopping from one project to another.
Inakushtua?
Yes, especially as someone who was taught to depend on a 9 to 5. Like, what do? You go to school, study, be an engineer. My dad was calling unto me, be Dr. Kori is the word that he kept using. I don't think I ever saw that doctor come today because I don't like medicine to that extent. But the creative bit feels nice. But
However,
I still need to come, like I still need money at the end of the day. And we were not taught how to make money from the creative side.
Okay.
I think these are things I'm learning on the corporate, and I'm like, oh, those people, he's making money from doing a voiceover?
Yeah.
How?
Yes.
It's even scarier now that there's AI, but yes.
It won't change personality. And for example, you can't tell me change sauti ya Johnson Mwakazi or Jeff Koinange just because there's AI.
But then the thing is, do I need a Johnson Mwakazi voiceover or do I need a voiceover done at the end of the day?
I think at some point and we'll get there soon enough, we will be too saturated by
AI.
AI.
Absolutely.
Let me
can
ask you,
still-
like when you see these ads for AAR,
Oh.
where there's the advertising insurance, when you look at the lady, like it makes sense. One side is burning, the other side is fine. But when you look at it, do you resonate with it? Do you feel like I really want to buy this product? Not really, no.
There's actually a template I've been seeing most designs. They have a certain texture, a certain feel. Like I know there's something good you're promoting, but what I'm seeing is
You
the
don't
AI
resonate
look.
with
Because
it. You
that's
don't feel it.
I've seen it on another brand. I've seen it. Multiple brands end up looking similar.
Or with 6 fingers like
With a
Kenya
six-
Power.
The
Zinakaa
same
vibaya.
texture.
The thing is, once it's there and it's too accessible, you'll also want a human touch to things that you can relate to. That's why hata tuseme nini, the Tillinowoods of AI acting and the people who are coming out here to do these projects that are AI, they will look good to some extent. They will kinda give you that, oh, AI inatengeneza music mzuri sana huko nje and whatever.
I've seen
However,
what's his name? Snoop Dogg was the first one to release an AI sort of like video. Or maybe the hype is only in being the pioneer to do it first.
I
Not
think
necessarily.
probably, and also it won't really replace art.
No?
It won't. People will still find ways to do things. So
You
the
realize
typewriter replaced people was replaced by a computer. Doesn't mean that people didn't learn how to use a computer and make better stuff from there. Now we have graphic designers. Aungefanya graphic
So
design
it improves. It doesn't
it'll
necessarily.
improve all of us eventually. Tuta improve sote. Tutaacha tu kuwa lax and mediocre by virtue. Yeah, you can't coast on being mediocre anymore. You'll have to actually learn a new skill and other things. You should remain relevant and actually people can resonate with your brand or una niche up or something.
the guys who used to pick up poop after the chariots are the ones who opened car washes when they stopped making
Picking
those
poop.
chariots. Yeah.
All right.
From the horses, that is.
Okay.
Uko like from the horses. It's crazy.
Sorry, do the horses in your home area,
No.
You guys have horses in your home area. Wow. Okay, yeah, hiyo ni mbaya.
Moment of silence, guys.
Lakini story ya stability, I think hiyo ndio ulikuwa umeniulizia. Story ya stability is not a...
That didn't scare you going like you had the opportunity
You do.
to focus on.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, that's what I'm saying. Mine was a delusional love for stuff. Mine is a delusional love that eventually taught me. Mugambi do like 6 projects at the same time.
Out of love, because that's the only way to sustain.
It's a mix of both, because now if I know this month I'm doing like 3 voiceovers, voiceover moja itanilipa 100k, ingine italipa 2000, ingine italipa 1500. Aina kuna nini, ita depend pia na whatever you're doing. Not actual figures though, but if I'm doing like 3 voiceovers, because how long am I doing a voiceover for?
30
An
seconds.
hour.
An hour tops, and then I can still go to rehearsal, work for a play, go to set for my few hours, finish. Inakufunza tu a lot of time management and what meeting to do, and because I had something to do.
Just to be clear, it is possible to earn 100k on a 1 hour shoot for a voiceover.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like unaweza make dough. Hey, unaweza is even like up and down, because I know people who've done projects that wamelipa pesa kwa like hii ndio inaninunulia gari, hii ndio inanisort.
From just one project.
Yeah, from just like one project, and it worked for them well, because people who'll be paid good money, especially if now you're at a certain level of, this one is a celebrity. You can actually ask for this money and they'll be paid this money. It's a personality. The whole rate card yenye tumepewa.
Wacha niulize swali. Because in my understanding, kuomoka in the sense of a corporate body, you've gotten to a point where your pay bracket, you're able to ask or demand for X amount of money. And this is on a month-to-month basis, because it's a job. For a creative, for me to say nimeomoka, it's to what extent? I mean, we're looking at you're being paid project per project basis. And there are some, not all of them actually bring in the same amount of money. For you to say you're at a good level, what does that look like? Because I also understand being famous does not equate to money in the bank.
It's a branding thing. It's also how you present yourself. That's why people who have a social currency planning, it's easier for them to decide, let me go into marketing, let me go become an influencer and use this to leverage, use my socials and whatever to leverage money and whatever. Unapata mtu can have like 6-7 brand deals for like a couple of months na amepewa lump sums all of a sudden. Awe shika 2M, shika 1M, shika 4M, shika hii for this amount of time, tutengeneze this kind of content. Oh, you now you're a brand ambassador and do this and this and this and this. When you get to a point where everyone knows your household name and you can still leverage out brand deals here and there, and you can still work on your own things and own them, not just be an employee or a contracted worker for a set. I think you're to the height of usanii, and that makes sense. Because even the biggest art, even in music, the biggest artists we have right now, most of them are in labels. And in labels, they're given a certain quota to get to. We need 5 studio albums, 5 good studio albums, and the splits within this place are 2070 or 2080 or 80-30, 30-70. Unajua hizo splits will work however, and you still remember there's recoupment of so many things. You're still an employee of this place, you're still
Money still needs to
contracted,
come back, yeah.
for like 5 years or whatever amount of time. If you don't understand that contract, you're still not owning your stuff. However, if you are an artist who either makes a very good deal for themselves or decides to be independent, gets themselves this brand deals kivyake, gets to actually publish, and he owns and publishes their own masters, music yake inakuwa very big, anaweza ipeleka whatever, he owns every single coin that's coming to them. This artist owns everything. The future is in IP for many creative people. Lazima ukuwe na your own IP ndio it makes sense for you ukisema nimeomoka. Because now you can resell it, you can do whatever you want to do with it.
You can put it on
because it's
YouTube.
yours. You want to put it on YouTube and earn the AdSense ni yako. Oh, unataka
Your name is Omosh.
unataka kuweka unataka kuiweka on films, upewe hiyo do na anytime watu wana sawa. You want to put it out in a studio album predominantly, sawa. You want to do your own tickets and whatever, sawa. Your own shows, get tickets for that, still promote, have merchandising for sawa. That's good success. However, if you're only always doing things for people, you're another cog in the machine. You just umeomoka, quote unquote, in people's eyes, but hauna anything to call your own. You're in a studio.
I mean, at the end of the day, success for anyone would be to be able to own your
own stuff.
You need to step out of the shadow and stand under the light.
Let me tell you.
Wacha kusema hivyo bana. Unajua mimi nataka kufanya jobs hii industry. Acha kuongea vibaya.
Mimi sijaongea vibaya. Hapana.
What? Okay.
I want to ask another thing is, what would you say has been your worst audition? Of the many things that you're doing.
First audition, I think it happened last year?
Yeah.
Langiri had called me for an audition for a certain series. No, it was a certain feature film. It was an international feature film. So I go in, and then I had rehearsed these lines. I think it was just a thing, yeah. Oh my God, it's a very big thing, so I need to be a certain way, I need to be. And then I should have just calmed down. I didn't need to have my head to be all up in my head, because even if you've done this for a while, there's some of those opportunities that come and you're always in your head. And I believe that contributed a lot to how I performed. Because looking at it now, I'm like, bro, you had time. Ungefikiria tu, ungetulia tu, hakukuwa na haraka. Ni Langiri mko na yeye kwa hiyo place. This is someone you've known, you've seen, you talk to. And yeah, it was aliniambia tu, yeah, unfortunately this time hatukuchagua. However, you normally know. I think creatives don't feel, you will feel something in the moment. However, you have to deal with rejection so constantly that
It doesn't hurt as much.
Oh, okay. Hii ni ingine tu nimeuma nje. Inauma roho kidogo, but yeah. So I think at that time hiyo ndio iliniumiza roho kidogo. Nikakaa chini nikajiuliza, si ati sijui kuact. Si aliniita audition. Nilifanya tu audition mbaya. Every single actor in Kenya has had a bad audition. Every single actor in Kenya will have a bad audition. And that's just it. Learn ukuwa like, oh, okay, look back in hindsight ujue, nilifanya.
It is what it is.
Yeah, it is majorly a you problem sometimes. And other times, pia, it's just a skill issue. Hauna.
Like for a certain character.
Yeah, for another thing to hauna skill. Ni skill to hauna.
You mean like acting skill?
Even that. At times you just can't act vizuri. Na si jokes. You're not all good actors. Not everyone who's being put on screen is a good actor. It's not even a joke. The stuff I have seen, the stuff probably I've been in, that I've watched, niko like, yak, nimefanya vitu mbaya huko. I'm like, mbona mnanipeanga hizi roles? Because sometimes it's either being overly critical or just you learn, and yeah, that was a bad choice. Knowing what I know now, in hindsight, that was a bad choice. But I was a kid then, I was a child then, and this is what I came up with. This is what I created from utoi wangu. Now, knowing what I know now, I go, oh, okay. Sasa ubani ubaki kwa hiyo state ya kuwa mtoi well into your career, so that everyone watching your stuff, anything you put out there, they're telling themselves, this guy's such a one-dimensional actor. And it's true for some people.
One Direction.
Please let the guy rest. The guy rest.
He's resting.
Copyright. Hiyo ni mbaya. But ama wengine tu, you're just famous. People just know you. And that's why it's easier for you to get cast again. And that's the thing. Like, watu wakikujua, it's easier kukast tena. And that's why you learn kuteta juu ya same faces. There's some same faces, quote unquote, who have good branding. Amazing. But mi utoi niambia, mtu kama Blessing Lungaho, ajui kile anafanya. That man is actually talented. And ukiangalia kazi yenye anaputa, and even how he presents himself as an actor, portfolio yake nini, like, yeah, Blessing is an amazing actor, guys. Acheni kujam.
But then when he's a villain, he's a dickhead.
Unamuona unajam.
You get pissed off.
Akiwa mtu ni mpoa. Like, unamuona umsa anajua kitu anadu. Justin Rich is an amazing. Uta nini niambia ati nani mwingine. The actors I watch and think, hasi ni wanoma. Mtasema same faces.
But
there's a reason they're the same faces. Well, other than sasa the fringe nini.
John CB as well.
JSO nani, that's a legend. JSO nani pia Rimondo Fuller is always going to get work.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like he knows his stuff. Ata Ian Bogo, he knows his stuff.
100%.
There are people, I think also he's called Eugene, not Eugene Bogo. There's another actor, I've forgotten his name. Is it Eugene something? Forgotten his name. But he is fantastic. Ako on Reckless right now as a politician who's cheating on his wife. It's so funny to watch him act.
Black men don't cheat.
Well, black written men only cheat. No, I don't wanna.
Yeah. The ones in the shows.
Shows.
It's bad depiction of black men.
Yeah. So it's a.
Do you disagree?
Yes.
Ni sawa.
You remember yako.
Don't say I'm the problem because of the men I meet. I see you.
Okay.
We've said men, not boys.
Jesus.
Okay, yeah.
What
Corey's
was it?
thoughts are her own. They're not ours. They're
They are
not a
not for the
reflection
show.
of Montful.
They do not reflect the
Opinions presented by Corey Hours and not by the show.
something I picked up behind the scenes that you said is earlier on you found yourself taking on almost every other role you were being called for. How do you know what works for you now? And I don't think you go for a Mugambi
say
role
no
like
to.
this is something easy I can do, or this is something I can easily pull off.
I mean, the times you do pot boilers, they'll lipe rent because you
Nilas?
unataka kulipa tu rent, or you want to buy something and you're like, okay, unalipa how much? Okay, I'm gonna give you a day. because I can't give you more than that. I think it's just taking time and realizing that eventually, if a good project can come in and pay me enough not to work for 6 months, itakuja. And if another one comes,
Still living in that, I don't want to call it delusion, but it's still that.
it's not even a delusional thing, because there are projects that are like that within our industry. People get a project that anajua nikifanya hii advert ama nikifanya hii film nikifanya hii nini for the next 1.5 years or 2 years, even if I don't show anything out here, I can go and establish a studio with whatever money I have. I can go and live my life fully with whatever I have. The other hata watu wenye wakonga political psychopaths wenye neno nalipo kawa wasanii wanalipwa pesa mingi, wenye anadecide hata kwa wasanii tena, see they know unanipa pesa ngapi, okay, with this money I'll go and live my life. I don't need to put out music anymore. I have money now. I don't really need to survive. I do this out of want. So it's a choice. It's a choice you have to consciously make and decide, is this really good, or am I just doing stuff because I can do? Kuna point you start out wanting people to acknowledge what you can do, and then they acknowledge what you can do. Now from there you have to build a legacy or an identity with the projects you have. There are times you're gonna do stuff because they're your friends, and others you're gonna also not want to do because they're your friends. Na unajua beshte yangu akwangi mcreative hivyo. Tusidanganyane pia, kuna babeshte wako tu najuanga huyu si trust akili yake, ama huyu si trust creativity yake, na si kwa ubaya, ni just because they've not learned enough yet. You just know, hakuna haja ya kujifanya.
Mbona ulikuwa unaangalia Andrew ukisema hivyo?
And that hana talent. Jamaa ataenda edit out hata kurecord tu saa hizo mtajao.
And that was the last time we saw Raphael.
Utapata frame inaishia hapa
tu katikati bro, utaamini.
Let me also point something out. We saw a lot of creatives almost panicking the minute they heard Showmax was closing. And we are worried more so because where does African content go now?
Where was it going before?
Where is it being shown? I think that's the word. And getting us higher paying.
Where was able to... Where was it going before? Mimi niko najiulizia swali. Also, with the trend that had been there,
out of the shadow,
I had seen shows. I had watched Showmax shows, and even by interactions with other people who've been cast in a lot of them, and even the ones that we had been cast in, you notice over time budgets will go deep. They rebranded, I think, was it about twice or maybe once. There's a rebrand.
Forget what the name was.
It was once.
It was once. Yeah, they just changed colors and whatever, and then it became a different. It's different but the same. Just more modern, whatever.
New up.
It was a very interesting shift. However, budget haiku match whatever this new shift needed, because now you noticed budgets zimekuwa slower, ama fewer, ama watu wame misappropriate. We didn't really know, but budgets felt like they were dipping. And then when you read from Canal Plus and DSTV margin, like getting bought by Canal Plus, and then inakuwa a whole thing, you're like, okay, these guys are going to bring in funding and whatever, because hiyo ndo ulikuwa unasoma.
That's what was expected. The trajectory to school.
Hata ndo ilikuwa imeandikwa gonna coming with X amount of funding, people already talking about newer shows coming in because of Canal Plus, whatever. And then they decided to look at their finances and realized Showmax is leaking money. Content of Showmax is really good. It's African good content. Na imeekwa. However, it's not profitable as much because people would rather pirate the shows. It's easier to pirate than to buy because we have not been given a subscription or a value system ya kulipia vitu tunaona as entertainment. We've been used to free entertainment for a bit too long that being asked to pay for something becomes Najua
bit
ni
of-
normal, but
Which is
I
ironic
want to
because you'll go to
support,
the cyber
but-
and buy.
you'd
the
rather
movie.
buy a movie at the cyber for 30 bob
Mm.
than pay or 50 bob than pay for Showmax on your phone for 300 bob, or the one that gets to your TV or whatever for like 1500. Was it 1500? My 1800 now, I can't remember. But you would rather do that instead because tulizoeshwa piracy is the way to go. And if you're doing
Even
piracy,
worse where there's camera copy. Like I'd rather watch. Nimeona. Point is to watch na
nimeona
nimeona.
camera copy. So you'd rather pirate whatever, or you'd rather not. You'd rather pirate than actually have a working system, a working show yenye unalipia subscription thing. Ndio waseme enyewe, since Showmax rebranded, we've had 300,000 more subscriptions, to the point where now they see the need of expanding, not just in major towns and cities in Kenya, or people who have Wi-Fi, to even
What
more
about data?
remote spaces in Kenya. Zenye watu wanajua the same place, the same reach yenye local TV iko nayo ndio the same reach streaming would have had. However, that's not the case. Juu utaambia utarationalize aje mtu alipie Showmax and yet ako like sinaweza enda nione show kwa nini, naweza enda ni torrent hii stuff, naweza enda ni pirate hii stuff ni watch.
I'm curious to know. There's something I'd noticed though for specifically Showmax, but I don't think this is localized to the entertainment industry here. I think it's Africa wide. I noticed that there were some shows that were just remakes of one another.
That's a DSTV thing. That's a multi-choice thing. If I'm not gonna, there was a time where
Without
you look at
naming
shows,
names.
yeah. What new
He's
is
naming
it's
them.
No, the specific shows. Because there was one that I reached the end of season 1 and I'm like, oh, I can't wait for another 2 years before they produce another one.
Shock on you.
So I went and I looked. South Africa have the same. Oh, this person actually dies. Damn.
then you stop
Just
watching.
I
ruin
the
stopped
the plot
watching the
for you.
shows with the Kenyan one.
version,
Yeah.
'cause I think adaptations have been the lifeblood of our of Kenyan productions for a while now, because ultimately, I think as a business owner, you will still think of it, because multi-choice DSTV are still business people at the end of the day. In as much as they're providing content, or like which one worked, where
how
the
can we
people,
milk more?
with the people who can afford DSTV and GoTV. These are people of a certain caliber in Kenya, or a certain financial status. And this is this is their taste. These are markers of their taste, because they're very similar. People will watch very similar stuff depending on how they're socialized. Now utapata, this worked for middle class to upper class demographic in South Africa. Let's try it out in Nairobi and see how it works. That's how The River becomes Kina. You watch Kina and you're like, oh, okay. Gomorrah becomes Salem. That's how some shows just merge into other things. Rockville, Reckless. So you just
Even single kiasi.
chukua pelegai hata abomama Faithless. So it's take this show, try it out with this demographic, find the names, because you guys are the ones funding and giving us everything. We know how much we used to make this show, and we have seen how much you guys need to make a show, because what they used to make Kina is not the same that they used to make The River. But was the content similar? Like, okay, yeah, inakaa poa, ina make sense, ina nini sawa. So the budget changes for Kenya. However, if it had stayed the same, probably so much would have changed for so many people. I won't try to talk on behalf of people na maubaya. However, you just notice trends we mwenyewe, even as a participant of the entertainment industry, you will always notice na uko, yeah, it's just easier for them. However, you find people like Vincent Mbaya making Pepeta, an original one, and putting it on Showmax, and everyone talks about Pepeta with such, oh yeah, hii Pepeta ni kali, by the way. Hii show ni noma. Imeka Showmax, ni noma, ni kali.
Mbona huna season 2 ya Pepeta?
Sasa miss sijui. Unless ongea na nani na Vincent Mbaya. Sijui, lakini it's a...
It was really well done.
Yeah, it's a... Man, it's such a weird space to be in right now. tunajama ati Showmax imeenda. You know, Showmax is not just Kenyan. Showmax is a whole, it's an African space for African content. However, we still used to put out content before Showmax, before streaming. We still had places to put our content. Were they the best? Not exactly. Can we build our own? Because now we don't need to.
Can we build our own?
People have built their own. However, do we like them? Do you want to use Netflix or Viusasa? Because Netflix has a better ring to it and has legacy to it. It's been there for a couple of years, for decades actually. Wewe unaona Viusasa, you're thinking, no, it just sounds.
Honestly, bro, me have tried Viusasa, but I drew the line when there was a show that was recommended to me called Sufuria ya Kiuchawi. That was the beginning and the end of that journey. And I actually sat and I watched like an hour long of this thing because episodes were 1.5 hours for some reason. And this Sufuria
ya Kiuchawi.
it would actually float.
The Sufuria.
Yeah, this is all coast-based, by the way. So it will float around, and then it would talk to kids.
The Sufuria, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the kids would become like demons and will do bidding and.
But I remember there was a time when this band TV show, Shamba la Wanyama, was done. Shamba la Wanyama was supposed to be that show that, yes, Viusasa is a good streaming platform show. And then Gaveka banned because the churches were mad. Because ideally, they talked about some churches, the Council of Churches. I think it was NCCK who actually came out and spoke out against it. However, what they're talking about is a reality of so many people. So many people have been hurt by society, the church society. The people who claim that they represent God are the ones who've hurt so many people. And as a result, many people have withdrawn. And this show is literally there to highlight stuff. NCCK proved to us that they're just a reflection of our leaders, because anytime you want to talk about a leader in an artistic manner,
you become defensive.
Watu wanakasirika. Unajam. And then you ban it. So if you're going to do that to also art, we end up having an ecosystem of very safe family shows that, bro, the same people who you want.
I'm just like, this is us.
Like
we're always happy and it's beautiful, and our love stories need to revolve around ghetto boy, good girl, and whatever, and things. Or ghetto girl,
it's
good
ghetto
boy,
girl and rich boy,
or
who has a brother who's a prick and is not in good terms with the father.
There's a Kenyan writer,
and then there's a woman. The mother-in-law is always upset. Because she has her favorite.
We forget.
Bro, that was the same script for Better Days, man.
But the same. We forget that Mugambi and Raf and Judy are gonna sit down and enjoy a show like 24, or a show that has so many complex storylines, relationships within the layers between the actors, and we forget that these are the same people consuming first world content that is so good. You can sit down and watch a movie like Parasite and you're like, oh my god, this is such an amazing movie, I love it. However, whenever you want to pitch to someone who could actually put that on a platform that we can stream on, that is Kenyan, quote unquote, unaambiwa it'll confuse audience. Bro, try it.
Yeah,
the audience doesn't know what it likes.
That's true.
We can't say Kenyan TV is bad when all we are doing is just doing soap operas. Soap operas have a certain way of working. They have a certain storyline that works. They have a certain plot. Now, wanafuatanga couple beats and whatever. That's why soap telenovelas will always be telenovelas. You can't tell me a telenovela is going to be the same as a crime drama or a sports drama or something of the sort, or a periodical zenye zinakuwa na NCIS ati solving things on it. Haitakuwa the same. It's not the same as an epic. And we have people with stories that are like this. The political stories we could tell. However, watu wakianza kunusa, walipata hii information aje? More people knowing about it. If our own government can be mad at children form 2 east ama sijui west wametengeneza play kuhusu gava inabaniwa, how are you gonna tell us they're gonna allow us to do a story about JM karaoke, for example? Najua nani alipata info, nani aliongea, nani alisnitch, then usikie filmmakers walipatwa, Mugambi alipatwa akiwa uchi kwa Nairobi River, amesema tu with a condom on or something, you don't know, I don't know. It's a thing.
It's ultra specific.
It's ultra specific, yeah? Yeah, I'm sorry.
Is that how you want to go?
No,
No, we are
never.
cancelling that.
No, hiyo ni mbaya. Because once you talk about a certain issue, artists, hiyo ndio point yetu.
That's your job.
Hiyo ndio job yetu, talk about a specific role, a specific thing in the society. Mbona tunaambiwa nyamaza? Why are we being gagged? And it's not, it's fictional. If it's fictional, let it be. Mnaogopa watu wakuwe aware of what is happening because it's not serving an agenda. It's not being used as propaganda for you guys. The same way Hollywood started with so many propaganda films back in the day, to the point where now it's letting people do art films and people actually watch and are like, hey, Oscar worthy, beautiful. Yeah.
My name is.
I'm
asking the Monica. You guys weren't paying attention.
Takuchapa.
The guy for the drums.
Oh.
He was from which tribe? You're close.
Yeah, Suba. What is it?
No,
it's not.
Don't even look at me.
Bukusu. He was from Bukusu.
Yes. Oh, Luya Bukusu. Somehow Bukusu is not Luya. It's a sub-tribe. Huh?
If you say so.
Okay, so Bukusu. Yeah. Alafu wazazi wake waliwana Wateso. I remember that.
Now I'm worried we're leaving the episode like on a gloom. No, it's like a gloom.
We just do a part 2.
We will, but as we're wrapping up the episode, I started by asking what happens now, and the retort was, where was African content going in the first place? Because you pointed it out that we don't necessarily consume our own content like that. So, like, moving forward, or face forward, what opportunities exist now, or what, like, where are we aiming at right now? Is it trying to get people to consume more African content? I'm just left at I'm wondering now what happens now.
The thing is, we have spaces where we can actually do that. Come on YouTube. However we want to talk about, oh no, it's not enough. Butita has done shows on YouTube. Some very amazing, others not very well known. However, honestly, kuna shows. I remember after Anas Toto, I now say going back and watching some other things, I'm like, ilikuwa.
Sorry, you were giving a comparison. You said some very amazing.
Very like people have known them. They go,
and others
not so well known.
So well known.
Okay.
So
they're also amazing.
I'm not talking
Let
about
him be PC, man.
Okay. Okay.
Miss G, honestly.
Sorry.
Ni sawa
the same way. Awinja, YY. These people, Phil and Nani, they even have their own phillittv.com platform. There's also Rufa TV. I know that there's also one who's called Shufa TV that's coming up. There's so many different places. There's also Viusasa yenye tunataka kuongelea vibaya na dini ya wachawi. People have put out content out there.
Sufuria.
Sufuria. Eyo.
Point of correction. Sufuria.
Sorry. It's yeah. People now will need to
but
have.
Do I want to sit down to watch Sufuria?
Hata mimi nataka kuiwatch sasa juu umeisema. It's make a community. Create a community, because the same way people Mukuru Abelmuto made a community, the point where people come and watch shows and his films and are going to still sit on nini na angalie his mashows zingine ziko na hadi for Wamboya's Bluetooth nimesa hiyo show inaitwa Undercover and all these projects out here. People are going to watch them if they know you put out stuff. People have watched Disco Matanga by Jackie Vike so many times because she has made it known iko. People have watched YY's projects because wanajua YY anafanya projects. Butita ametuwekea anastoto dekabamba wa Kenya to the point where even local
Wait,
TV
nini?
were like,
Yeah.
hebu come tuwekee hii hapa hata watu waone.
Kuna wengine walifanya pia na Benteke.
Oh, hii kina
Gavana.
nimesahau yeye na Ted Munene because I know I've seen
Kamam.
ilikuwa kama people are putting out stuff. There is a space for Kenyan content, for Kenyan shows, for African shows. If you're not willing to now either create your own things or have better distribution channels that are not just backed by other people, to struggle. Because nikuulize, how many other Kenyan films have you watched? Have you gone to cinema to watch other than things you've seen on Netflix or Showmax? Have you actually ever gone to a cinema to watch, like, for example, She Gets Me? It was screening a couple of nini. There was a film called She Gets Me. It was screening a couple of weeks ago. Watu wangapi wamewatch? Ama hii kina Charlene Wangare, nani, what's this called? Yenye kona Isaboke as a lead as well. Yeah, Isaboke and Mufasa. I've forgotten the name of the film.
Nyakundi.
I've forgotten the name of the film. It's a funny film.
That one.
It's a really nice film. Watu hujawatch pia. I think
Mimi nilienda kwa cinema nikawatch Nafsi.
Nafsi ni ya lini bro? 2023? 2021.
I think
Since you haven't been back since.
Hujawatch Kenyan film nyingine kwa nini?
Oh, this other
The
comedy
jury's
that
out
was
on that
nani?
film.
Forget the names.
Gani?
Step
I
out of
remember
the
the poster.
shadows.
I remember.
Oh, nini?
Sit and
It was told that Vincent Mbaya one.
I know it was I loved it. I think it was premiered last year.
Sketchy Africans.
There we go.
Sketchy
Sketchy AF.
AF.
That was so good.
Sketchy
I loved
AF,
it.
Sketchy Africans. It was, if people are not, because those ones went all out in marketing that film.
Does that mean it becomes now a marketing problem? Is that why?
It's also people don't even know about some films. I know
that's
feel
true.
it always. Ukijua kona show saa hizi. Kama when we did what was this one with Pascal? Makosani Yangu. When we did Makosani Yangu, people knew about Makosani Yangu to the point where tulijaza Sarit. See, I think was it 6,000 people? Yeah, 60,000. I can't remember the number. 6,000. Yeah, that about. That was the biggest screening in East. I think East Central Africa.
Nini ile alikuja na niko na
bro, ilikuwa the Trinity experience. Three things. Watu wanakuja concert ya nani Hat the Band because they also did the score for the film. Wanawatch filamu na wanapata special ya ilikuwa Njugusha Malcolm Mkoro. Either of them, I can't remember. It's a whole thing. In a team nakuja mnafanya hivyo. People knew about it. People knew about Sketchy AF because it was all over Nairobi. Hiyo ungekosa kuiona. Ilikuwa all over every single place.
I knew about it because I saw the ads.
Ukaona hadi ads on social media and whatever. The films, I will never lie to you. Mimi sikujua about them until nikakuwa in the industry. And then I went and watched them. And I'm like,
why? Why is it hidden?
Why was it hidden? Kama Soapy. You guys have I'm sure I'm watch Soapy. It's a film where Brenda Wairimu is a Maasai lady. And she speaks, she has monologues in Maasai. And it's an old movie. She did it beautifully. Uko like, I see why you're still in the industry. You're really good at this stuff. There's the films zenye niko sure haujaona George Moore as a lead character anapendwa hivyo other than now Lulu. But before watu wako wamenotice George Moore can actually even act. Watu wanaweza act. Watu wanaweza fanya kazi. Where were they? Zile kwa platforms that not everyone can pay for. Pay to understand not everything is going to be, itakuwa accessible to everybody na siko ubaya, not in a gatekeeping kind of way. It's just that kama huwezi afford pia pole. Is it a bad thing? Yes.
Is it though? I think it's just a thing.
It is what it is.
The same way, not everyone affords Netflix.
Si kila mtu anaweza afford Netflix.
Ama hata hiyo Go TV. Kuna watu wa Azam.
Si kila mtu
Na
anaweza
pia kuna
afford.
watu wa Citizen 2 TV.
Citizen pekee.
Na kuna watu wa sufuria za kiuchawi.
Ulienda kwa
Do we know you?
Hey, as we wind down. Ushaiona mzungu ako na hii kitu ya polio?
inakwanga polio ama inakwanga
Ni
tuberculosis? Si
ni
BCG?
polio.
Si BCG ni TB ama?
Ni ya TB?
Bro, we.
Ni ya TB?
Wa?
TB.
TB.
Ina tiba.
Ni mzee. Ni mzee. Yeah.
How do we want to wrap this up? What's your takeout? I mean, how do we wrap this? What do you want our viewers to actually take out from this?
If you love Kenyan content, do as much as possible
Not
to
if you
access.
love Kenyan content.
No, I'm gonna say it's an if. For me, it's an if because I know people try to say that I love it. What have you watched? Only Citizen and local TV free to air. Then do you really love it? Go to film festivals. Go to film screenings. Wherever you can, go to YouTube. Find short films by Kenyan Vinis. Find feature films by Kenyan creatives. Talk about them, whether they're good or bad. Talk about them, because it's only by us having conversations. Us having conversations about them.
I see you.
Having conversations about this.
Ndio maana mnakuanga na haso avocado.
Hapo ni mnoma. Kuna mtata ajui kuna avocado variety inaitwa Hass akuende. It's only by having conversations and seeing them and patronizing these places, more people will know about Kenyan content stuff. Hate calling it content because it's supposed to be art, but it is content. We need to make money out of this.
That is true.
If you're one of those people who say Kenyan content is just bad because everybody feels like they're overacting, or
they have the same actors over and over again.
Do you not go to the same mechanic when your car is done? Do you not go to the same dentist? Do you not go to someone you actually know and trust? Don't you go to the same supermarket and get served by the same attendant? Acha ujinga.
Umekuwa na vinyozi wangapi in your life?
Vinyozi nilihama, kuna mwenye alikuwa naye tangu standard 2 to 3rd year, and then I moved from Nyeri, and then I had another one from I think like 3. And
in
it's
your
not just 'cause
life
of moving. It's just because of moving. So I have a
Same concept.
yeah. it's a loyalty thing. Jua huyo anajua kazi anaweza fanya, anakubamba. Yes. What I think people have an issue is not even same faces, it's same character. I can't be funny boyfriend in the first show I ever did and still be funny boyfriend
in the 6th show you do.
17th show I'm doing, 6th show I'm doing with the same character, because that one worked for that. People thought I was good for that. Now if I'm cast as a detective, no need for me to be funny boyfriend and then with slight needs of detective. No. Kuwa detective sasa. The next role I'm given, if I'm a rapist or because you're gonna get all these weird roles. Go be that guy for that moment. De-roll, because zingine lazima de-roll mazee, acha ujinga. And give people something that when they watch you, they can say, hey, by the way, first time niliona Bilal Mora alikuwa dingo. Saizi namuona yeye ni msee mnoma. First time niliona Dedan Juma alikuwa karao. Saizi yeye ni zeze. Give them range. That way haitakuwa same faces kind of thing. Unless you're just cast because it's you who's being cast.
Bahati.
Ni mbaya.
Yeah, huwa hati.
Hata akiwa katika
Pin mlafi. Sister Joy nampenda kama Joy kumtis kama noma ni noma. AKA Fatso bully wa mtaa. Araba. Tela ni mstili kikanko.
No.
Mimi nilikuwa naimba chapo. Ilikuwa time ya food.
It was 7 p.m. Yeah, you're right. 7:30.
Even the last time we had
You think you're funny? Fuck you.
What? What?
gonna take away.
Oh, take it away.
Ni food. Ina come.
Both of you are bad.
the last time when we had a similar discussion, we had Joyce Musoke tell our viewers, when you see the poster, when you see people talking about it, go and watch. The same way you've said, even if it's bad, and one.
In fact, if it's bad,
good,
go and then you put it online.
Joyce Musoke, she's the lead there. Is it Joyce really?
Filamu gani itano?
She gets me kona Joyce kweli. I can't remember if it's Joyce. It's not Joyce. Oh, I forgot. Okay, wanafanana na nani? Angie.
And
ni Angie. Wanafanana. Okay, to me.
When you see the poster, when you see people talking about it, go and watch. See you next time, guys. Bye.